There you are. Again. Can you give me 1 sec while I get organized here with the old multi-streaming? I just have all these different bits and bobs that I have to get all lined up. See, Facebook's not. Look, I'm off to the wrong side now. Which way do I go? I think I go this way. Let's try that. On Instagram, not centered. It's not good to be not centered when you're meditating. Yeah, I moved the right way. Good. Okay, nearly there. YouTube's on, and Facebook's nearly there. Meditation's coming. Just hang on for 1 sec, please. All right, it's all good. Everything's looking good. Great. How are you? How's the day going? Going all right? I hope it's going well. It's all right if it's not. Not every day is great, but I hope it's going well. I hope you're having a good day. We're going to do a bit of meditation now. This isn't a class. It's just a chance to meditate together. It's part of the further emergence work I do. I'll explain about further emergence when we're finished the meditation. But for now, if you're experienced, if you're used to meditating, that's brilliant. Can you hang on for a minute while I explain what I do, just for the benefit of people who are new to meditation? There's lots of different styles of meditation, but so this is just what I do. For me, it starts with why I would meditate. I'm trying to connect with a part of me that I connect to every night when I go to sleep. Not the dreaming bit, the bit after dreaming. So I'm sort of dreaming, and then I drop out the bottom of dreaming into deep dreamless sleep, where I have no thoughts, I've got no memories, I've got no personality, I've got no emotions, I have no body, no house, no country, I've got no nothing. I don't even have me, because I sort of cease to exist in deep dreamless sleep. Certainly the way I normally register my existence. Which, when I put it like that, sounds awful. That sounds like death. And yet, I love going to sleep. And when I wake up in the morning, I feel refreshed. So some part of me knows that it's a good place that I go to. And that's where I want to go to when I meditate. I just want to do it consciously. So, if you're new to meditation, don't try this lying down, because you'll fall asleep. Or if you don't fall asleep, you'll battle sleep. So yeah, sit up. You don't have to sit in a lotus position or anything like that unless you're comfortable sitting in a lotus position. I'm just sitting in a chair. So if you're sitting in a chair, just make sure it's not a big, comfortable armchair that you might fall asleep in, or you're just into that side of things again. So as I say, no thoughts in this place, this deep, dreamless place that I want to go to. There's no thoughts there. My mind can't seem to get there. So I have to figure out a way to get there, or to get there and include my mind, or deal with my mind, or part the curtains of my mind is a nice way I like to think of it, to get there. So what I do is I make an arrangement with my mind where I say, could you just not think for the next 15 minutes because I want to meditate? Now at this stage my mind is on board for the whole idea and that's important. You don't want to get resistance from your mind about it, which can build up over time. If it's the first time you're doing meditating, it won't be. There won't be no resistance because it's a brand new thing, new experience. And if your mind is like mine, it will love that. It'll go, great, yeah, wow, new thing. Over time, though, it can get a bit of resistance. So you need to give your mind the sorts of things that minds like, like thoughts, ideas, concepts. So maybe watch some videos about meditation, maybe read some books, just so your mind can get on board. So my mind's on board, then the next thing is to stop thinking. Now that's actually easier than it sounds, because regardless of what I'm thinking about, which would be the contents of my thoughts, the structure of my thought, it's always the same. It's always pictures and sound. So if I turn off the pictures and I turn off the sound, well, that's it, I'm not thinking. And as soon as I do that, as soon as I stop thinking, I'm into the practice of meditation. And the practice of meditation runs hand in hand with my intention, or runs parallel with my intention. So my intention is to go to this deep, mysterious, still, calm, profound, Zen-like. I'm just trying to think of all the words people use to describe meditation. My intention is to go to that place. Now, the practice of meditation runs parallel, and it starts as soon as I stop thinking. And it pretty much goes, I'll turn off the pictures, I'll turn off the sound, so I'll stop thinking. Then some time will pass, I'll discover I'm thinking again. So I'll go, oh, I'm thinking. Right, so turn off the pictures, turn off the sound, bring myself back to not thinking. And some more time will pass. I'll discover I'm thinking again. I go, oh, I'm thinking again, right? Turn off the pictures, turn off the sound, bring myself back to not thinking. And some more time will pass. I'll discover I'm thinking again. I go, oh, I'm thinking again. Okay. So turn off the pictures, turn off the sound, bring myself back to not thinking. And a little bit more time pass. I discover I'm thinking again, and so on. Just repeatedly bringing myself back to not thinking whenever I discover that I am thinking. And I alert you to that if you're new to meditation, because it's easy to get the wrong idea. It's easy to get the misconception that in order to meditate properly, you shouldn't be thinking at all. And if you're thinking at all, you're doing something wrong. Not the case in practice. Like these two, the intention and the practice of meditation, they go together and they sort of are in this kind of dance. Sometimes you'll be very deep and still, and then other times you'll be discovering that you're thinking. And both are powerful. I mean, it's kind of obviously powerful when you're in this deep, still, profound place. But it's also very powerful when you're discovering that you're thinking. It's just a bit more subtle. Because what happens is, if you're like me, the sort of things that you think about are to do with you. You know, why did I say that to that person? What am I going to do about that thing? Why did that person say that thing to me? And so on. So if I'm in the middle of one of those thoughts and I'm meditating, I go, oh, I'm meditating. So I turn off the pictures and I turn off the sound. I get rid of that thought. Indirectly, what I'm saying to myself is, you know that thought that you were just thinking, the one that you thought was you and that you were it? Well, you just got rid of that. You just made it disappear. So you're not that thought. In fact, you're not any of your thoughts. You're something else. So that's very powerful to do that. And the fact that you do it repeatedly is very powerful as well. So the main thing is not to get hung up on thinking, not to add to your thinking by thinking you're doing it wrong or you're thinking too much. There's no set amount of times that you should be bringing yourself back from thinking in a given period of time, because it changes from day to day. Some days you'll have to bring yourself back from thinking a lot, other days not so much, and one isn't more correct than the other. The only thing you have to do is every time you discover that you're thinking, you bring yourself back to not thinking. That's it. Doesn't matter how many times you do that. You do that, you're doing great. Now, while that's all going on, I'm also letting go of tension in my body. And I have a system for that. I sort of scan my body from my head down to my feet and back up again very slowly, very gently. Anywhere I find tension, I let it go. And I use my out breath to let it go, because it's natural to just breathe it away. It's also a good way of bringing my awareness to my breathing, because it's quite easy to hold your breath in meditation or to stop breathing altogether. So using the out breath is a good way to avoid that. The other thing is I'm taking note of, as I'm scanning my body, is any structures that run across my body or transverse. Mostly my body runs longitudinally, but anywhere, any structures that go across, they operate a little bit like a log going across a stream. They can just pick up, all the twigs and the branches and the leaves, except in my body, it's tension. So I'm paying particular attention to my eyes, a lot of tension there, my jaw, my tongue, base of my neck, my shoulder girdle, all my joints, so my shoulders, elbows, wrists, fingers, my heart area, my respiratory diaphragm, all my intestines, my pelvic floor, my hips, my knees, my ankles, and my toes. Another helpful thing if you're new to meditation is having a nice quiet room where you're not going to be disturbed. Reason being, because when you close your eyes to start to meditate, your hearing amplifies, and one of the things that triggers thoughts is little noises. So the less noises you have, the more you'll be helping your mind. And then the other thing I do to help my mind is I set a timer for how long I'm going to meditate for. So I'm going to set mine for 15 minutes, but if you're new to meditation, I'd encourage you to set yours for 5 minutes and then just repeat that 3 times, because 15 minutes is a long time if you're not used to it. Okay, so off we go into the mystery. Okay, if you feel like you've gone very deeply inside and you need a bit of time to come back from wherever you've gone, then take the time before you open your eyes. Or if you feel like you can hold the inner space and the outer space at the same time, then just open your eyes. And if when you do that you feel like you've lost contact with the inner space, then just close your eyes again. You open them again. Oh yeah, there it is. Great. No, lost it. Close your eyes again. And so on, back and forth. Using your eyes as a kind of a valve between the inner space and the outer space. As I said at the beginning, these meditations, these daily meditations, are part of the further emergence work I do. Further emergence is to do with growth, inner growth, or growth in consciousness, or spiritual growth, or that kind of thing. If you think of it as, you know, when your body was growing as a child, then became an adolescent and an adult, kind of your body stops kind of growing as when you're an adult, changes into a different thing. But you keep growing on the inside, and just like when your body was growing, you might have gone through periods of accelerated growth spurts, or accelerated growing, which are called growth spurts. The same goes on the inside. You can go through these accelerated periods of inner growth, so like inner growth spurts. And that's what further emergence is about, because they can be just like growing pains in your body. They can be painful and difficult. They're natural, but they're just difficult. And it's the same with inner growth spurts. They're natural, but they can be very painful and disorienting and difficult. And there's a lot of it going on at the moment. There's a lot of people going through inner growth, accelerated inner growth. So it can take lots of different forms. How you can know it's happening. You can, have trouble sleeping, or sleeping a lot. You can feel kind of stuck, or you can feel like everything's going really fast on the inside. You can feel a sort of disassociation from your life, meaning you're sort of looking at your life going, I don't really recognize it, or I don't recognize myself in my life. Everybody used to get me, now nobody gets me. I don't really get anybody anymore either. That kind of thing, which can be quite isolating. So I do a Zoom group as well every week on Fridays, so today. And that's a chance to see other people and go, okay, it's not just me. This is other people are going through a similar kind of process. And it's question and answers, and then a bit more in-depth meditation as well. And then I work with people one-to-one as well who are going through further emergence, and that's a combination of behind the scenes and in front of the scenes kind of work. That's the way I think of it anyway. The front of the scenes is where we talk, and the questions and that kind of thing, and talk through things, talk through the process. And then I also do distance work, where I'm kind of working with them energetically behind the scenes. So it's all to help with that process, the process of further emergence. So if that sort of resonates with you or rings a bell with you, then follow along whatever way you're looking at this, whether it's on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram. Follow, like, or subscribe. I think that's the right way. Or you can just go to the website and read more about it as well, furtheremergence.com. Okay, so thanks very much for meditating with me, and see you tomorrow for some more meditation. Bye.